Hello, hello. The doc is in. Today, we are going to be talking about chapter 242 of Tokyo Revengers. Just came out today. Very excited. Very nice. Just finished reading the chapter, and it was really good. But I digress before I start gushing about it. Let's just hop right into the chapter. So, the first part of the chapter is basically we see Takemitchy thinking back to all his time spent with Mikey and Draken and their connection and his connection to the Tokyo Manji gang, and he's basically trying to figure out what should he name the new gang. And Mitsuya, as we see in like a little mini flashback, basically tells Takemichi that he's going to be the one who's going to have to be responsible for figuring out what the name is, because obviously in the last chapter, we had Mitsuya basically proclaiming like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna change the name, we're gonna change the outfits and all that stuff." And basically, Takamichi's sitting and he's looking at the bike that he was gifted by Mikey, and he's just thinking about it as he looks at the uniform that Mikey wanted Drinking to give to him, which was Mikey's old uniform, and we see that he comes to the conclusion of what the name should be. And to a little bit of my dismay, he comes to the conclusion that the name of the gang should be Tokyo Manji Gang, or Tomen. And so, if anybody's confused, what this basically means is that he's going to have the gang be called Tomen, and this is going to be the second generation of Tomen. We see when we see everybody get show their positions as a part of the gang, we go like the rundown. We see that they, as like a part of the title, they get like Tokyo Manji Gang second generation. After Takemichi proclaims that he's going to call the gang the Tokyo Manji Gang, we cut to a week later where they're having their first proper meeting. Think back to all the previous times when we would see Mikey and Draken have the meetings and everybody would meet in the same place. I'm pretty sure this is the exact same spot they always met in beforehand. And so then we go down the list of all the old members and all the people who've taken part in the previous Tomen coming together for another meeting to bring in the new generation of the gang. We have the Kawada brothers being the fourth division, obviously Smiley being the captain, Angry being the co-captain or vice captain. Sorry. We have Pa and Pei as the third division captain and vice captain. We see Takemichi's old friends being the members. We see Mitsuya and Hakai. Basically, it's everybody just coming together. We just see everybody in their positions and whatnot. And the uniforms, we didn't get any particularly different uniforms. It seems like it's basically just a recreation of the original Tomen uniform. And as we're going through everybody, I'm like, cool, cool, cool. We see the first division, second division, third division, everybody, and whatnot. We see Inu is going to be the first division captain. We don't see the vice captains for Anupe and Senju, but will probably be revealed later on. But hold on just a second, all right? I want to touch on something I said in the last chapter. I was like, oh, Senju's a sellout, you know. She really said it. I got all this stuff happening. Sanzu became crazy, and Mike became a murderer because of her. I would like to retract that statement. You know, in light of the current character development, you can't see, but I'm putting quotes around that character development of Senju. I think sacrifices need to be made and steps have to be taken to reach the proper conclusion of a story. You know, if Mikey and Sanzu gotta be crazy and kill a couple of people so Senju can have a Tomen uniform, I mean, what can I say? It just has to be done. Because I mean, if you see this panel, all right, what do you want? Really, what do you want me to say? Senju has to get the uniform. I mean, it was all set in place. All right, Kasaki, Kasaki doing all his stuff, Taiju, all those things they had to happen to build to this very moment where Senju becomes a part of the second generation Tomen gang and gets her uniform and looks hot as shit in it. All right, I'm not gonna go any further than that. You know, That's a little too much. But all I'm saying is that real life, the Doctor, right, is not a game. There's a seriousness. Slave to pretty women, and Senju's looking real pretty here. That's all. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. But yes, she is the fifth division captain. Pretty cool. Uh, I believe. Oh, a thing that probably should be pointed out is that Sanju was the vice captain of the 5th Division, and now Senju is the 5th Division captain. Obviously, I'm not saying that Sanju is going to become like the 5th Division vice captain or something dumb like that, but a little bit of, not parallel, but a little bit of connection between the two, where in the second generation of the Tomy Gang, she's now the 5th Division captain, when Sanju in the first generation was the vice captain. And the last person to be revealed is Chifuyu, who is, of course, the vice president. And after, like Draken did previously, Chifuyu basically reigns in everybody's like, all right, guys, first meeting, let's get it going. We see the boy, the goat, our favorite crybaby, Takemitchy, in the uniform, walking up as the president. In this one panel, his neck's mad long, but you know what? He still looks cool, so I can't complain. I really can't. From there, we have Mikey got confused there. First generation, second generation. Things are starting to mix up. But basically, Takemichi, after he enters, he's basically like, he apologizes first for bringing everybody into this. He basically is like, the 3Ds war, all that stuff happened. I feel bad. We lost to Mikey. Mikey's changed and stuff and whatnot. But even though I can never really live up to the dream of Mikey, and Mikey will always be the leader of the Tolman gang, he has changed over the last couple of years, and I'm here, and the point of this gang is to bring him back. And basically, Takemichi proclaims that he's going to, with the help of the new Tolman, take down Mikey and defeat the Kanto Maji gang. And we got a little panel of Senju crying a little bit at the fact that basically, in a way, she's kind of living out vicariously her dreams of being able to stop it / save Mikey through Takemichi and his goal. And he gives her, in like the last couple of panels, I mean, if you really think about it, he didn't really say anything that's different from what he said before. But it's just like, they just hit kind of different. Because it's just like, dang, he's really the president. He actually became the top of Toman. Literally, the president. It's just like, wow. And then, the author's a little cheeky for this one. On the final panel, Takemichi goes, "It's our revenge to bring down Mikey." I'm like, ayo, this is not fair. Because the gang should have been called the Tokyo Revengers. It would have fit so well. But the little reference to the title, the Tokyo Manji Gang's Revenge, I'm not too mad at it. I'm not too mad at it. Overall, love the chapter. A lot of great art. I think that going from here, I think the next step would be maybe more recruiting, but we'll probably not really get any more like big names at this point. I feel like now that they've kind of like concluded the recruitment period, and they've kind of like established like who are the pillars of the gang, I feel like the only thing left would be who will be the vice captains, and maybe someone unexpectedly inviting themselves into the gang. When I say unexpectedly inviting themselves, I'm thinking Hanma may try to invite himself in the gang. I feel like Hanma's not going to be a part of the gang. I think that the only part he may play from this point going forward is maybe that he's going to attempt to join the gang. Takemichi and Chifuyu are probably gonna see him or whatever, and he's probably gonna be like, and Takemichi is probably gonna be like, no, we don't want you. And maybe from there they might have a conversation where we might get a little bit more of a reveal on like the time travel aspect of the story, because you can't forget that in the Tenjuku arc and everything, at the end of it, Kisaki was like, I'm not the time traveler, but it doesn't. But in the way he said it, he didn't really he didn't really disclaim the idea that there is any time traveler. So I feel like there's still that aspect of the story that needs to be touched upon. I feel like it'll be touched upon before we get to most likely, the final war of Tokyo Manji, the Tomen second generation versus the Kanto Manji gang. That's my thoughts on that. Another person that people are really excited for the idea that they may join is Taiju. Maybe it's possible. I mean, we see in one of the futures he's no longer in a gang. He's kind of like not honorable, but he's like, he's just a business guy or whatever. He even helps Takemitchy out. So it's possible that at this point maybe he's turned over a new leaf a little bit, and perhaps they encounter him in some way, and maybe he's like, I was thinking back to things I did in the past. I feel like I made a mistake or whatever, and I heard you guys started a new gang. And who knows? Who knows? I feel like maybe he might join, or at the very least he might be referenced again. I feel like he might make a cameo for like a chapter or two, and then that'll be that. If he doesn't join, of course. Um, and yeah, overall, leave the chapter at about. I mean, I can't lie. The last section where Takemitchy was giving his speech, it gave me some shivers. I gotta give it a 9. I gotta give it a 9. The art was really good. Senju was a person in this chapter. I like to see everybody basically come back. The gang's back in town. It's very nice. It's very nice. Anyway, thank you for watching. Leave a like if you like. Leave a dislike if you dislike. Comment even. Perhaps you want to subscribe. Probably not. But if you do, it'll be greatly appreciated. Thank you once again. The doc is out. Peace.